This one. We were at the quest. Alright. So this, when I was thinking about playing this game again, this might be the most memorable quest in the entire game, in that it's just like the one specific side quest that I thought of when I thought about playing KOTOR. There's like overarching like plot points and like some characters I was looking forward to revisiting and stuff like that, and like I could remember a couple planets and things. But out of all the side quests in the entire game, besides maybe the like, do you want to pick on this old man or whatever the fuck quest like that, I remember there being a murder mystery on Tatooine, and it's like, oh, we're here, exciting, we've made it. And no, I don't remember the solution. I'm listening with all that I can about the information here, because I don't remember shit about this quest. I just remember it being here. Didn't realize it was here specifically. Didn't I approach the bridge from that side? Yeah. These people weren't here a second ago. Spooky. Alright, well, let's investigate everybody then. And see, let's Phoenix Wright this shit.
Another Jedi, huh? Helping that Twi'lek investigate, no doubt. He seems stumped. I'm Ricard Lusoff. Maybe you can figure this out and let me get out of here.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I was out hunting Iriaz when I spotted one over here by the bridge. I pull out my rifle and aim at it. I couldn't see it that well, mind you, because the damn sun was in my eyes. So I shoot it and it drops. I walk over here and find Handon standing over Calder's body. So why don't you get this whole farce over with and send that whiner Handon to the prison he belongs in?
That's not a very great story to tell if you're trying to prove you didn't just kill someone. Because boy, your own telling of your own story makes it sound like you just killed a guy because you went hunting and you couldn't see that well. Yeah.
Ah, greetings. You must be assisting Master Baluk in his investigation. I'm Handon Gould. Perhaps you've heard of me?
Should I have?
I guess under the circumstances, no. Well, I presume you wish to hear my story then. I shall tell you, of course, but there's not much to it. I'm sure that you'll agree that Ricard is quite obviously guilty of murder. You see, I was out here running earlier today. Yes, running. I do that a lot. Can't stand speeders, never use them. Keeps me in shape, too, you know. Anyway, I was out running on the other side of that bridge there, and all of a sudden I heard a shot coming from over here. I ran over and found this man Calder lying on the ground, dead.
Did you see the killer?
I saw Ricard come skulking out of the shadows of the rocks south of the river, and I knew something was wrong. I hit my emergency button and called the Enclave right away. Well, there. That's my story. Now, please hurry this up and arrest Ricard so I can get on with my day.
Well, they don't really contradict each other. Huh. This is less interesting so far than expected. Because one of them just very clearly seems to have been the killer. Because he fired while not being able to see that well in a hunting thing. And then mysteriously there was a dead guy. He never even said he found the bird he supposedly shot, or whatever the creature was. So he never said that he found the thing he was hunting. Seems like the thing he shot and that dropped was a person. Are you an unbiased intermediary?
Greetings, apprentice. You must be the one Master Baluk has enlisted to help him with this problem. I am an information retrieval droid. I can assist you by accessing the records of both the Jedi Enclave and the central government facilities here on Tatooine. If you have any need of my services, please do not hesitate to talk to me. I have already retrieved some information from the archives on Calder Netic, Ricard Lusoff, and Handon Gould. I have also had time to examine the body of Mr. Netic. Is there any information you require?
What did you find out about the body?
My preliminary analysis of the body indicates that he was killed approximately 3 hours ago by a single energy blast to the torso. Is there any other information you need?
What did you find out about the body?
My preliminary analysis...
That's the only line. Tell me about these planes.
These planes are rife with wild animals, not all of them benign. The Iriaz are mostly docile, but can easily be provoked to violence. Calf hounds, on the other hand, are much more deadly. There have been over 35 catalogued attacks on settlers by calf hounds in the last 2 weeks. A general advisory was given out 3 days ago to carry a weapon at all times when on the plains. Small farms and holdings dot the plains and can provide safe refuge for those in need. Is there any other information you need?
I will have questions later.
Very well. I will be here to assist you.
Is that it? Or is there like another stage to this process? Like that was just their testimony. Do we do more cross-examining or something? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm in Phoenix Wright mode right now, so I'm like expecting really interesting interactions, and maybe it's because I've hyped this up in my brain over the course of like the last 20 years of thinking it was this really cool mystery. But maybe it was just because it was my first RPG, and so I was blindsided by this interesting, like, oh my god, which one did it? Like, what a mystery situation to be in. 13-year-old me is just jazzed about this. But maybe this is all there is to it, because it seems almost disappointingly straightforward.
So, what do you want to know?
Oh, there's more, okay. What did you see happen?
Well, I was out hunting Iriaz south of here. I shot, and when I came, Calder must have been hunting it himself, because there was a rifle lying close to...
Okay, no.
Right.
That sounded like it changed the dialogue, so let's start over. I was skipping it, thinking it was the same thing again. What did you see happen?
Well, I was out hunting Iriaz south of here, and I saw one over by the bridge. The sun was pretty much right behind it, though, so I couldn't see it none too clearly. I shot, and when I came over here, I found Handon standing over the body, holding his side. There wasn't an Iriaz in sight. I think he might have taken it. Calder must have been hunting it himself, because there was a rifle lying close to the body. Bullock's got that now. Mine, too. I want that back.
I want to ask you something else.
So, what do you want to know?
Why were you out here?
I told you already, didn't I? Was hunting some Iriaz. Haven't seen many in the area recently, what with those cat hounds acting up. But they're still around. Was in my blind a little south of here when I spotted one, like I said before. I shot and pow, it went down. But when I come over here, there's Handon standing over the body and the Iriaz was gone. Now, I don't have nothing to do with this, so can I go now?
I want to ask you something else.
So, what do you want to know?
Well, Baluk said you were limping. Are you hurt?
Well, I kind of sprained my ankle running through the bush before I found the body, but it's nothing that serious.
Why was he running so fast if he didn't think there was a murder at the time? That's all for now.
Right.
Okay, so things get more interesting. Weird that you talk to them and then you go back and then they have real dialogue. Because at first glance you're like, oh, that's it? Weird.
How can I be of further assistance?
What did you see happen?
Well, actually, I didn't see anything. I was over across the bridge. I heard a shot and came over. I can tell you I was sure surprised to see Calder's body lying there. I just got here when I saw Rickard coming out of the rocks holding his blaster. I was terrified. I had no idea what he was going to do, so I hit my emergency button and called the Enclave. Master Baluk came out here with his droid and started questioning us. I think he really doesn't understand what's going on. I hope that you'll be able to make a more informed decision and get me out of here soon. I have things I have to do.
I want to ask you something else.
How can I be of further assistance?
Why were you out here?
I was taking my daily constitutional. I just happened to be running by when I heard a shot. I ran over and found Calder's body lying there.
How often, do you often run around the plains?
Yes, quite often. I generally prefer running to anything else. Can't stand speeders. A healthy body will breed a healthy mind, as I always say.
You're holding your side. Are you injured?
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bantha. I run. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Okay, well now he's way more suspicious. It's like not even acknowledging his injury while the other guy does. Because like, oh yeah, I just kind of hurt my ankle. It's fine. Whereas this guy's like, what? No, I'm fine. Was he shot? Did they have a duel? I want to ask you something else.
How can I be of further assistance? I was taking my day. Of course.
I think this is the first time I ever heard the word constitutional to describe that kind of thing. Oh!
Wata yuma wamahuhu nadektik. Shatungni patoga. Wanakuspe ching
I have no choice but to tell them I didn't have the wisdom to solve the case. I didn't leave. I think they just glitched out of the environment for a moment there and he thought that I was leaving.
Is there any other information you need? Very well.
That's all we get, huh?
So, what do you want to... Right.
Akupa chekopa. Gino mulera kenpaija. Slimupo duama.
Tell me what happened here.
Runda di hotonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule. Tonking ba nunotek. Tokning chatukun mulerabes. Tong haitwam jiji jumblumpa. Nitapoe tikito. Dolpa da bongualea gandona chuchut. Kachi chu ita dundonga. Yumalita kuto tun. Chilamulane ni dubobo. Wonga kumbis jang ba mulera. Kachi kun ita hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Ta kumjus tak miki grabul mogo. Kachichu ita bodunga. Tolbabank wale oganda naru chuchut. Mogesha ponka bola wana chikne. Pamule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mule rabest. Runda di hotonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tonking ba nunotek. Tokning chatukun mule rabes. Kachi kun ita hodonga. Iking kuno pa mule rachikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe.
I want to discuss the murder.
Runda di hotonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tonking ba nunotek. Tokning chatukun mule rabes. Takum jus tak miki grabul mogo. Kachichu ita bodunga. Tolbabank wale oganda naru chuchut. Mogesha ponka bola wana chikne. Pamule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mule rabest. Jedabadawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Tong haitwam jiji jumblumpa. Nitapoe tikito. Dolpa da bongualea gandona chuchut. Kachi chu ita dundonga. Yumalita kuto tun. Chilamulane ni dubobo. Wonga kumbis jang ba mulera. Mucho shak pakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun.
I believe it's Rickard with the leg and Handon with the side wound that goes jogging around and everything. I think that's their names. Shit. Huh. There's the guy that's with the wound that's lying because he's so cagey about it. But it's weird that he says that it's so unlikely that it was an accidental murder when it seems incredibly likely. Like it lines up with the stories largely. I'm pretty sure Rickard's the guy with the leg and Handon's the guy with the side wound. I think. Handon is lying.
Akupa chekopa. Gino mulera kenpaija. Slimupo duama.
What? Fat people always lie? How do you even know he's fat? Everyone has the same character model. He's also a jogger, apparently. He didn't mention the weapon found by the body. He was here at just the right time. I guess he didn't mention the weapon found by the body. I was gonna say because he's hiding something about his wound.
Runda di hotonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tonking ba nunotek. Tukning chatukune mulerabes. Jedabadawana ni dibobo. Tong nabung siya nununya. Tong patukasmak talea. Ta kung just takmiki grabel mogo. Kachichu itabo dunga. Tolbabank waleo ganda naru chuchut. Moga siya pongka bolawana chikne. Pamule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mulerabes.
I'm about to mess this up, aren't I? Fat people always lie. I know who's lying now.
Jedabadawana ni dibobo. Tong nabung siya nununya. Tong patukasmak talea.
Rickard, because he's the other person.
Hakupa chekopa. Gino mulera king paijak.
It was cloudy, there was no sun glare.
Tong haitwam jiji jum lumpa. Nita poe tikito. Dolpa da bonkwaleo gondona chuchut. Kachi chu ita dundonga. Yumalita kuto tun. Chilamulane ni dubobo. Wonga kumbis jang ba mulera. Ta kumjus takmiki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ita bodunga. Tolbabank waleo ganda naru chuchut. Mogesha ponka bolawana chikne. Bamule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mulerabest. Kachikun ita hodonga. Iking kuno bamulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Mucho shak pakant. Kiyeno no namapaole rachikun.
Odd situation being presented with two liars who are both lying about something. And they're like, which one's the liar? And it's like, yes, the answer is yes is the liar. They're both lying. Yeah, but which one's lying the way I mean?
So, what do you want to know?
Did you know the victim?
Yeah, I knew him. Hell, we've known each other for a good long time. Doesn't mean I really have to have liked the slime ball. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him. Especially now that he's dead. We actually got along pretty well most of the time. We just had our differences. We were actually business partners. We were involved in some orbit-to-ground transport operations for Aerotech. Can I leave now? I should probably be the one to give the news to his wife.
I want to ask you something else.
So, what do you want?
Why were you out here?
I told you already, didn't I? Was hunting some areas. Haven't seen many in the area recently, what with those calf hounds acting up. But they're still around. Was in my blind a little south of here when I spotted one, like I said before. I shot and pow, it went down. But when I come over here, there's Handon standing over the body and the Iriaz was gone. Now I don't have nothing to do with this, so can I go now?
His explanation's not great. I'm out here hunting a thing that hasn't been around lately, and then the sun got in my eyes, even though it was cloudy and there wasn't a sun out. And then, even though I shot and killed an Iriaz, when I got here, the Iriaz was gone, and completely different things were happening here. It's like, you thought someone took the Iriaz? How? Where would they take the Iriaz if they're currently here at the crime scene?
So, what do you want?
Why would somebody want to kill him?
You Jedi are so predictable, always seeing some greater purpose behind everything, when the simple answer is usually the right one. Can't you see that it must have been Handon? I found him standing over the damned body. I don't know why this is causing you so much trouble. You almost seem as lost as this Baluk guy.
That's not what I asked. Like, that's just not what I asked. He didn't provide any motivation of any kind. He's just like, what? So obviously this guy killed him. Fuck it.
So, what?
Are you hurt?
Well, I kind of...
Same line of dialogue.
Right.
The other thing changed.
How can I be of further assistance?
Did you know the victim?
I knew him a little bit, but I was not any sort of great friend to him or anything. I never really associated with him that much. In truth, I didn't really want to. He had a reputation. Very inconsiderate of family, I heard. But merely having heard unkind things about someone wouldn't make me want to kill him.
No one says you killed him. Yet.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit agitated. Why must we remain here? Can't you see that Rickard must have shot him?
I want to ask you something else.
How can I be of further assistance?
Why were you out here?
I was taking my daily constitutional. I just happened to be running by when I...
You often run the plains?
Yes, quite often. A healthy body will breed a...
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, are you injured?
Injured? No.
Yeah, same as before.
How can I be of further assistance? Of course.
Is there any other information you need?
What can you tell me about Calder and Handon?
The Southwood Speeder rental business has records that over the past several weeks, a speeder had been rented by Mr. Nettic and Mr. Gould. Is there any other information you need?
We're using last names? That's just even more confusing. Alright. So side wound and Calder... Corpse and side wound rented a bike together or something? A vehicle? What can you tell me about Calder and Rickard?
According to the municipal authorities near the Garrow spaceport, there had been news of violent drunken activity in a cantina attached to the port. Apparently, a Mr. R. Lusoff was making accusations at a Mr. C. Nettic about cheating him in a business deal. Jedi Tuka was dispatched to the scene and restored order. Is there any other information you need?
What did you find out about the body?
My preliminary analysis. Is there any other Very well.
Okay, I can look at the body? Yeah, it's here. The body of Calder Nettic is apparently shot from behind with a blaster. This was not an option before. I mean, he wasn't here before. This whole thing just materialized. Because I approached the bridge from this direction, I believe. So there's all the animal corpses back there.
Akupa Chekopa? Gino. Runda di hodonga kun hankabi.
Oops.
Wana kun bez ka chi kun ita runda di ho.
I have reconsidered. I did not mean to press that. I meant the last dialogue option just lets you leave the conversation usually, and I made a mistake.
How can I be of further assistance?
You knew Calder better than you admit. You rented a speeder with him.
But I realize this must seem like a motive to you, but I assure you it isn't. I dislike Calder, true. I would punch his face in given the opportunity, but I would not kill him.
Punch his face in? Why?
My wife was cheating on me with him. I slept in my own bed while I was in the next room. But, as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault for driving my wife away. I must try not to take the law into my own hands. I was just out running, trying to clear my head for the divorce proceedings, not stalking him to kill him. Running is not a crime.
Details have blown out like crazy.
How can I be of further assistance?
Why would someone want to kill him?
Well, you see, Calder was involved in some pretty sordid business from time to time. More often than not, I've heard. Disreputable business practices, even more disreputable clients. I've even heard he had dealings with a hut here on Tatooine. Now, I bet you're wondering if I had any reasons to kill the man, but I tell you, I hardly knew him. I saw him once or twice, yes, and I've heard some pretty unkind things about him, but certainly nothing that would make me want to kill him.
The dialogue has not been updated. Saw him once or twice. Liar. You wanted to kill him for having an affair with your wife.
Knock his block off, maybe, sure, but not kill him. Oh my. I hope you don't find that incriminating. Normally I'm not prone to outbursts like that, but Calder, Mr. Nettic, he was not a very nice person. Not a very nice person to me or my family. I had had my suspicions for several weeks, but had no proof until 2 days ago. It seems Calder was seeing my wife, right under my nose, no less. But as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault. I was just out running. How can I be of further... Injured?
You still won't acknowledge the injury when he was found at the body of the person who was sleeping with his wife.
Of course, of course. Listen, if you need anything, I shall be glad to assist.
Open your shirt. What's that injury like, huh? Is it a blaster wound?
So, what do you want to know?
You thought Calder was cheating you.
Now, I don't love Calder, but we go back a long way. We run a suborbital shipping and transport company out of Garang Spaceport. We've been partners in that business for well over 20 years, and we've been doing just fine the way we are.
You can deny it, but there was bad blood between you.
Right.
Oh.
So, what do you... Now, I don't love... We've been partners... Right. So, what do you...
It just ends there. Did you know the victim?
Yeah, I knew him. Hell, we were actually... Can I leave now?
Yeah, we knew all that stuff.
So, what... Right.
Yeah. Handon Gold seems to have the strongest motivation to kill him. He's also, he doesn't mention the weapon that was found with the body. He doesn't mention that he has a wound and like other things that are going on there. And he's all dodgy and has his own motivation and other things that he's lying about. Whereas this guy actually is telling the truth about everything so far, or at least it doesn't seem to be lying. And that he keeps revealing that, like, yeah, he was a business partner of mine. Fuck that guy. The big thing that's questionable about this guy's motive, this guy's story, is the fact that he seems to have mysteriously shot a prey that no one can find around here, which is weird. And he talks about his. I also don't know why he's injecting the idea. If he's not the murderer, why does he tell the story of shooting something blindly with the sun in his eyes? Like, why is that even part of his narrative? It almost sounds like he thinks he's going to get convicted of being the killer, so he's trying to put plausible deniability of like, oh, it wasn't my fault, the sun was in my eyes. But like, he can you review dialogue in this, by the way? You can, yeah. I just find it strange that like he yeah, why would he talk about sun being in his eyes when there was no sun to be in his eyes? But also, it's like him, like, coming up with someone to blame for the murder he's also trying to claim he didn't do. Alright. You fools. So I feel like I might flop through these a little bit. I think I just need to, like, make an accusation periodically and just kind of hope for the best. I mean, clearly you can do it wrong and he'll just be like, I'm sorry, but no. And that's the collaborative effort of investigation, is to talk back and forth and then bounce your ideas back and forth off each other and all that. So, I want to discuss the murder. Handon is lying. He knew his wife was cheating on him.
Mule slimo podadara nanga kumbist mulerabes kachikun itahodonga ikin kuno pa mulera chikun slimo podona rundihodunga ku hunkabe mucho shak pakat kiyeno no nama paule rachikun.
Well, that was easier than expected. I keep getting fixated on solving the case, of course, and thinking about the final answer, but yeah, it's split into stages, where ultimately, in these stages, you're just being asked along the way, like, who's lying about this specific question? It's like this time the question is, do they know them? And it's like, which one's lying about their relationship status? And it's like, yeah. He was definitely lying about when he said he didn't know him. It's like, dude, you're sleeping with your wife. Now we're asking about the weapon.
So, what do you want to know?
What about the weapon found by the body?
That blaster? Never seen it before. Calder himself had a preference for Ichani weaponry. He had this one really nice light blaster rifle that he always used. Always wished I could get myself a rifle like the one he had. That blaster ain't it, though. Calder only had the one rifle, too, so he either must have borrowed that, or it's someone else's. So, what... Right.
So it didn't match up with his weaponry. So very well be maybe his weapon.
How can I be of further assistance?
What do you know about the weapon found by the body?
That blaster was stolen from my house last week. I never knew what happened to it. I hardly have enough money to afford a single blaster, let alone another. I can't tell you how important it is to have a weapon on hand with all these ravenous cath hounds around. Even an Irias can take a man down if it gets in the mood. Every settler has a weapon. It's our most prized possession. I would most appreciate it if I could have that back after you determine that Rickard is the killer. How can I be of further assistance? Of course, of course.
So they're saying that the weapon here was not the victim's weapon, but instead was from, well, it could have been the victim's weapon, but it's not the type of weapon that the victim preferred, so it didn't belong to him. Apparently, it is Handon's weapon, but he's claiming that it was stolen from him, which would probably indicate, if he's telling the truth, that the person who had the weapon was the victim. The victim had the weapon from Handon's house, which makes some sense because he was sleeping with his wife, so it's like they have a connection where he would potentially take a weapon from his house. But it also doesn't really clear him very well, because it could just be Handon's weapon that he brought there. Like maybe, like with that wound on his side, maybe he took a shot and dropped it. Like he got hit.
Is there any other information you need?
Is there a report on Handon's blaster being stolen?
I am sorry, but I seem to be failing you. I have searched and searched, but I cannot seem to come up with anything at all. I thought to find the record of the missing weapon report Mr. Gould filed with the authorities, but there does not seem to be one. Is there any other information you need?
Tell me about the weapon found at the scene.
We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample, other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need? Very well.
So all we know about the weapon is that it did not belong to the victim. Which both of them report independently also. So everyone agrees that it did not belong to the victim.
How can I be of further assistance? Of course. Oh.
So, what do you... That blaster? Never seen it before. Always wished I could get myself a... That blaster ain't it, though. Right.
So yeah, it's Handon's gun. It's from his house. He says it was stolen, but there's no report of it being stolen. So it seems like that's just a lie.
Hakupa chekopa. Hakupa chekopa. Gino mulera kempaija.
The blaster is Handman's. He lied about it being stolen.
Runda di hotonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tunking ba nunotek. Tukning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ita hodonga. Yiking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Mucho shak pakat. Kieno nama paule rachikun.
There was a blood sample on the weapon that has been sent back for analysis just before your ride. Perhaps you can inquire about the information. Okay. So tell us about the blood sample, droid.
Is there any other information you need?
Tell me about the blood sample.
I have just received back an analysis of a sample of the blood found on the weapon. It had been sent back to the Enclave just before you arrived. The blood on the weapon is definitely not Calder's. Unfortunately, there was a bacterial contaminant in the sample that had been taken back to the laboratory, and it had become degraded. We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need?
A little vague, but I don't know much about genetic analysis necessarily. It's apparently not enough information to get a positive match on either of these guys, but it's enough information to get a negative, to disprove a positive match with the victim. I'm hearing that right,
Very well.
aren't I? It's not Calder's blood. Seems like it's your blood, Mr. Limp.
How can I be of further assistance?
You're holding your side. Are you injured?
Injured?
Keeps not mentioning it.
How can I be of further... Knock his block off. You know, normally I had had my suspect. It may have been my... I was just out... Of course.
I don't think we have any new dialogue here.
So, what do you want?
Yep.
Right.
We can really skip ahead by inspecting the wounds of these two characters.
Hakupa chekopa. Gino mulera king paija. Slimo podwama.
Ooh, what if he killed Calder for sleeping with his wife, but then the other guy shot him on accident because he's just a negligent asshole that's bad at hunting? I want to discuss the murder.
Tong abong sha umnina. Wanga kumbis king balemuraya. Johnny yon tunjiji idadwana. Kavavolpa mulji gumana.
It didn't belong to the victim.
Runda di hotonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tunking ba nunotek. Tukning chatukun ne mulerabes.
It's Handon's blood.
Hakupa chekopa. Gino mulera king paija. Slimo podwama.
He's clutching his side.
Runda di hotonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tunking ba nunotek. Tukning chatukun ne mulerabes.
Hey, what are you doing?
Jedabadawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Ta kung just miki grabulmogo. Kachichu ita bodunga. Tolbabank wale oganda naru chuchut. Mogesha ponka bolawana chikne. Pamule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mulerabes.
No, they are both guilty. That seems possible. This guy's narrative is pretty good, but it might be that they're both guilty. Because it very well may... If it seems like Rickard did try to kill Calder, but he was too late, basically. So he killed the guy that was standing over his body instead. Because he makes up lies, like the weather, which he has no reason to lie about unless he was trying to cover up like a murder that he did, basically. Like, his weird descriptions just kind of don't make any sense. He has all these weird omissions. No, they're both guilty.
Runda di hotonga kun honkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tukning chatukune mulerabes. Tong abog sha umnino. Wanga kun bez keng balemuraya. Shoni yon tunchichi idadwana. Kavavolpa mulji gumana.
He was also having an affair with Handon's wife? Rickard thought Calder was cheating him in business.
Ta kumjus tak miki grabul mogo. Kachichu ita bodunga. Tolbabank wale oganda naru chuchut. Mogesha ponka bola wana chipne. Amule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mule rabes. Kachikun ita hodonga. Ikin kuno ba mule rachikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodunga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tukning chatukune mule rabes. Tong haitwam jiji jumblumpa. Nita poe tikito. Dolpa da bonkwalea gandona chuchut. Kachi chu ita dundonga. Yumalita kuto tun. Chilamulane ni dubobo. Wonga kumbis ba mulera.
Damn you. Damn both of you.
Ta kumjus tak miki grabul mogo. Kachichu ita bodunga. Tolbabank wale oganda naru chuchut. Mogesha ponka bola wana chikne. Mule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mule rabes. Kachikun ita hodonga. Ikin kuno pa mule rachikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Tong haitwam jiji jumblumpa. Nita poe tikito. Dolpa da bonkwalea gandona chuchut. Kachi chu ita dundonga. Yumalita kuto tun. Chilamulane ni dubobo. Wonga kumbis ba mulera.
You did good. You might just make a proper Jedi yet. Who knows?
Achuta. Wonga kumbis dolpi kikoyana. Dong patugas maktelea.
Karth just could not find a spot he was comfortable standing in, apparently. Huh. Yeah, that's why that was so memorable. Why it stuck in my head like this. There's a murder mystery on Tatooine in this game. Because that's like an hour long. And it is fairly interesting. I was really disappointed when at first I was like, oh god, is this just going to be with this one little... I just talked to them each for 1 second and that's it? Why did I remember this? Then it started unfolding and it's like, oh, there's a whole process here. This is a whole big quest. That's a hell of an overachiever right there. Pull the trigger once, and get charged with 2 cases of attempted murder from 1 shot. He's like a bit of a overachiever. I get a new power. Yes. 1 attack per round is gained. It's definitely my priority right now. And I'm a level 4 Jedi Guardian. I gotta get this armor off. Even though we'll see how this goes. We'll see how well I do without that bonus armor. Being restricted by armor is rough. I assume that's still true for the upgraded version? Yeah. It's me, a scoundrel. This is how scoundrels dress. Like... Elvis impersonators with pouches. So many pouches. Now you get to wear the Akani armor. Congratulations! Whee!
What?
Sure hope I don't die immediately in the first fight I get into with my no armor. I keep thinking I gotta get myself some Jedi robes, but I don't actually remember if the Jedi robes were particularly helpful either. my god! That's a motion blur if I've ever seen one. So this should be a lot of attacks. Yep. That's a lot of numbers. If only they were hitting. Like at all. Bonus attacks. Also, I'm dying. Ow. Get him. Ooh. Carving up some wildlife like butter. I said like butter. So many enemies that want to fight me but are just kind of like not joining in on the previous encounter. It's like they didn't hear it. Doesn't seem to be attacking me yet. I don't... We're testing out new shit here. I don't know if I trust this fight to go well. Whee! Full commitment. No, that one. Kill the Mandalorian at all costs. Please. Well, they shot him dead.
Ready. Take that.
Yeah, 500 damage is a lot. I'm definitely sitting here like, if you considered landing shots, if you could just connect shots, please, that'd be very useful. Just trying to make them focus fire the same enemies as best as I can. Hey! Look at this accuracy we've got all of a sudden.
Let's go. Take that. What?
We're getting there. Come on.
What? Huh? Ready. What? Yes.
We may need some of that improved blaster bolt deflection ability, because he didn't go so hot. I used an armor and everything, and he still fell apart pretty immediately. Thankfully, they started to do that too. A vibro double blade. If it's empty, why is the backpack still here? That those kinds of items are supposed to disappear. Just gotta work on that regen. Yeah, I may want to go back to this. Full commitment to dual wielding while using flurry and burst of speed to like really increase my number of attacks. Probably want to go all in one way or another. This is a pretty big area. I'll have to be careful trying to remember like which areas I've even been to already and so on. It feels like it'll be easy to forget. Well, what am I looking at over here? And who might you be?
will be your doom!
Oh. That's not good. That's pretty specifically not good. Can I get a stun on her? No? Shit. And they used up all my force, so I don't get to have my speed boost now. That's bad.
Ready?
Okay. I was correct to save. Let's wait till we have full health before that one. Definitely want to go into that scenario with a full health bar and force meter. Holy shit. That went exceptionally poorly. Yeah, waiting for the force meter to regenerate is a little rough. Wow, we're just getting destroyed here. Let's go ahead and load my save. It occurs to me that I can probably go back to base. Yeah. What?
Mission, is that you? It's me, Lena, remember? I was dating your brother back on Terrace.
Lena? What are you doing here? Where's Griff?
I'm just passing through. Griff and I broke up a few months after we left Terrace together. Probably for the best. Your brother can be charming, Mission, but he's bad news.
Don't you start trashing my brother, you cantina rat! Take that back or I'll smack you so hard your head tails will pop off!
Mission, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting this way?
Mission gets a little worked up when it comes to her brother.
Yeah, I know how she feels. Griff can be pretty frustrating. I guess that's why Mission didn't want to come with us when we left Terrace.
You liar! Griff told me that you didn't want his little sister tagging along. That's why he had to leave me behind.
Is that what the Hutt spawn told you? I wanted you to come with us, Mission. I even offered to pay for your ticket. Why not? I paid for everything else while I was with that freeloader. But he told me you didn't want to leave Terrace. I said we shouldn't even go then. But he said we'd come back and get you after we struck it rich on Tatooine. Just another one of his lies.
No, you're the one who's lying. Griff wouldn't... He wouldn't try to leave me behind.
Maybe your brother isn't the man you thought he was.
Think about it. If Griff wasn't trying to ditch you, Mission, then why didn't he tell you where we were going? After we left Terrace, he told me looking after you was holding him back. Griff's always looking to blame other people for his own problems. That's why he abandoned you. He did the same thing to me, too. As soon as I ran out of money, he started blaming me for all of his problems. Like it's my fault his get-rich-quick schemes never work out.
So where is Griff now?
Still on Tatooine as far as I know. Not that I really care anymore. And if Mission was smart, she'd forget about that no-good con artist.
But Griff is my brother. I just can't pretend he doesn't exist. If he was here to defend himself, Lena wouldn't be saying all this bad stuff about him.
Hey, if you want to talk to Griff, go ahead. Last I heard he was going to make a fortune working the Zerka Corp mines on Tatooine. But as far as I'm concerned, he's out of my life forever.
Griff's better off without you anyway, you table-dancing, brother-stealing home wrecker.
I guess that's my cue to leave then. I didn't mean to upset you, Mission. But one day you'll see I'm right about your brother. I only hope it's not too late by then.
Poor Lena dealing with this shit. You don't want to accept these kinds of things for obvious reasons about people you care about. It's just she has no reason to be lying. Like, no, it doesn't really generally make any sense for her to be lying about any of that. These guys weren't here a minute ago, were they? Wait, that's the store. Oh, a similar looking hallway up there is how you leave. That's just the store right there. Gotcha. Interesting that even when you say warp back to Ebon Hawk, you warp to in front of the Ebon Hawk. I don't think you... I could be wrong, but I don't think you can go on the Ebon Hawk. Ba-doop. Despite being such an important location, I don't think you unlock it till you finish this entire planet or something. What? Oh. I think my left bumper kept double-clicking. So many bonus attacks. Too many bonus attacks. Infinite attacks, please. I'd like to attack 500 times per turn, please. There we go. Oh, surprise enemies, hello. Bit of an awkward little straggler, huh? But yeah, I pretty much immediately believe Lena. And Lena largely poses information that seems worthy, like, oh yeah, if he wasn't trying to ditch you, why didn't he tell you where we were going? One way or another, Mission's brother did abandon her on that planet. Kind of another parallel to the modern Star Wars things, actually. With the... What is her name? Oh my god, why can't I think of her name? I can only think of the name Daisy Ridley, which is the actor. I'm like blanking on the actual name of the main character of the Star Wars movies right now. Whoops. I feel like the last movie was so bad that it started like forcefully ejecting all information about those movies from my brain, which, fair enough. But one of her big things is that she was abandoned on a planet, and she kind of had to keep justifying to herself that they're coming back and they did this for a reason, and that her story has some kind of purpose to it and means something and isn't just the random chaos and abuse that happens all the time in Star Wars. And she was not... Well... Wow, that answer got really complicated and stupid at this point, huh? There used to be a better answer to that question.